Hey, brother. Welcome to our new journey together, 40 days of following. And as we jump into the Gospel of Mark, we're going to learn so many things about what it means to be a follower of Jesus with the original passion and motivation of the apostles. And when you jump into Mark, you're immediately hitting a moving train because he moves very quickly. Now, what you need to know about Mark is that he was not an eyewitness to the ministry of Jesus. He came later, and what he writes are his memories of what Peter had shared with him. Obviously, Peter walked with Jesus, and he shared all of this with Mark, and Mark wrote it down. And so when you jump into Mark, you're seeing somebody in movement, and obviously his purpose is to show the ministry of Jesus and to authenticate all that Jesus did. But here's what it says in the first couple of verses. It says, "The beginning of the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, as it is written in Isaiah the prophet, Behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord, make his paths straight." Mark immediately jumps into a prophecy, and it helps us recognize that Jesus, even though he came in a small and obscure way through a virgin birth in Bethlehem, and not too many people knew about it except for Herod, even so the birth of Jesus, the birth of the Messiah, had been anticipated for millennia, for many, many, many centuries. And in the very earliest book of the Bible, in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, it talks about this Savior who's coming because God says to the serpent that you will bruise his heel, but he will bruise your head. In other words, there'll be a fatal wound to evil when Jesus comes. Later, Isaiah talks in chapter 7 about a virgin birth, that a child is coming that is born of a virgin, and many other prophecies about what he will do and his compassion for his people. And then we go through the captivities and all the dispersion of the Israelites, and they must have wondered, when is he coming? But here he is. John the Baptist is coming, and he's going to be the announcer. He's going to be the precursor, the forerunner of who Jesus is and what he wants to accomplish. And as we look at this, one of the things we need to recognize is that we live on the other side of this. We live after all this history has been lived and written. What a privilege it is for us to live on this side of the birth, the ministry, the miracles, and the death and resurrection of Jesus. So I want you to just pause for a moment today and recognize, as you are following Jesus, what a privilege it is for us to walk with him, knowing all that he accomplished, knowing that everything promised about him was accomplished in his life, his miracles, his teaching, his death and resurrection. As we're following him, we're not following some phantom. We're not following some idea. We're not following some dream. We're following a real person who was predicted in the prophets and who came and fulfilled all that the prophets had to say about him. So today, as you walk confidently, knowing that Jesus accomplished everything that God wanted him to do, and we're right on the threshold of seeing how he walks it out. So God bless you today in your day of following. I'll see you tomorrow.